So this is the 1701 edition of the Khoodeelaar television channel being broadcast under the banner of the Baby Angel Geronimo editions. This is part A. And today is Wednesday, the 11th of January 2023. Today's Marduk dailies, that is the Marduk dailies in the United Kingdom, because Marduk has dailies all over the world, in America, in Australia, etc. The Marduk dailies are not running front pages prominently with the promotion of Harry Windsor's book, not at least the daily, well, the Sun, which is running a story, nuke plot smashed at Heathrow. They're saying that a package was sent to an Iranian in Britain, it was intercepted by the UK border agency and spies. Now, the Times main front page is 1,000 excess deaths each week as the NHS buckles. Now, what does it mean? Excess deaths. That is, people being killed under the cover of the NHS being in crisis, which is really continuing the crisis of the dark age that the British society has been plunged into and is being kind of taken down even further. How can even 1,000 excess deaths be justified? And this is not 1,000 excess deaths. It's 1,000 excess deaths each week, on top of the whatever is supposed to be the expected number of deaths. You don't expect the number of deaths to exist at all. By definition, the number of deaths cannot be predicted. And yet they're predicting, they're being precise even about the number of excess deaths, which totally does away with, that is, abolishes, scraps any idea of audit, accountability, care, whatever. And this is not even happening during the COVID crisis pandemic. This is happening now after the pandemic is supposedly over. And there is no outcry about the number of people being killed by any of the political parties. That is happening quite brazenly. Now, the Times has got on the front page a smiling picture of a woman called Honeysuckle Weeks, an actress, and she's there presumably because she gave account to a court proceeding that took place yesterday, in which she said that she violated the traffic rules and drove at a faster speed than she was allowed to, because she was escaping what she feared would be a threesome. That is, wherever she was escaping, there were at least two other people, a man and a woman, presumably, who were very near, close to trapping her into a sexual encounter involving three people. On page 3, I think, of the Times, is it page 3 or is it later? Page 3 is running Johnson Airbrush from History, a piece that shows a picture where Boris Johnson has been airbrushed from. Now, this honeysuckle item is on page 7. She told the court, I drove drunk to flee a threesome. So she was drunk while she was driving. Honeysuckle Week starred alongside Michael Kitchen in the television series Foyle's War, which began in 2002. She made no comment as she left court yesterday. Now, Honeysuckle Weeks is being reported here by Jonathan Amis, the current legal editor of the Times. A star of the television drama Foyle's War has admitted driving her car while being more than twice the legal alcohol limit, saying that she was fleeing a sexual threesome. Honeysuckle Weeks, who appeared in ITV's award-winning detective series, told a court that she had no alternative but to get behind the wheel of her car because she feared she would be coerced into a sexual encounter with a male friend and his lover. Wicks, 43, who is on welfare benefits, told Wadding Magistrates Court that she had been drinking with friends in November and was invited to stay for the night. But her friend invited his lover to his house in Arundel, West Sussex. And Wicks became convinced that she would be coerced into a sexual act with the couple. The actress said that she left the house and acknowledged that despite being drunk, she drove her silver Honda CRV SUV. She reversed into a parked car before driving away, but returned 15 seconds later. An off-duty police officer who stopped the car and realized that the driver was drunk. After failing to submit to a roadside breath test, Weeks was taken to a police station where a breath test registered that she was more than twice the legal limit, drink drive limit. Weeks of Byworth, West Sussex, admitted drink driving yesterday. She told magistrates that she had been expected to stay the night in a friend's house in Arundel, but the man in question invited his lover to the property and I was in danger of being coerced into sexual actions with them, which I found extremely unwelcome. Wicks was said to have no regular income from acting and to be receiving universal credit. She said that she needed her car to take her son to school every day. However, the magistrates banned her from driving for 20 months and fined her £120 with £85 costs and a victim surcharge of £48. She agreed to undertake a drink driving awareness course that would reduce her driving ban by 20 weeks. Wicks had been resident at the Chichester Centre in West Sussex, a low security unit for the treatment of drug and alcohol problems. The court was told. The actress said she was no longer living there, etc., etc. Now, this is This is the woman that has been featured on page one. And the only reason, really, she has been featured on page one is because of the angle of sex, threesome or foursome or whatever. Now, there is a piece in the Times on page 13 about Shamima Begum saying life in the refugee camp where she is staying is worse than prison. And this is on page 13. And it's a piece by two reporters, Duncan Gadam and Dominic Kennedy. Shamima Begum has claimed that the refugee camp in northern Syria she is in is worse than a prison. Begum, 23, spoke in a BBC podcast released today as she fights to have her British citizenship restored. So it's a top of the page 13 and it's a five column, across five column. The last paragraph, but one, Begum, a pupil at Bethnal Green Academy in East London, left with two female school friends in 2015. They flew to Turkey and made their way to the main bus station in Istanbul. While the world was looking for us, we were just in the coach station, she said. Then we contacted the smuggler who's going to help smuggle us across the border. It was so scary because at that point we were in unknown territory. She added, my family thought I was too weak to do something so crazy. Okay, so the BBC told the Times that the podcast was not a platform for Shamima Begum, but they're planning to do a version on the BBC Radio 4 and also provide a discussion on that on BBC Radio 5 live. Now, we are the ones who have been talking about Shamima Begum more than anyone else. And what the BBC has said so far, as reports suggest, has not come anywhere near raising the issues that we have been raising, especially the failure and the negligence by Lutfur Rahman to safeguard these children. Townless Council has not said anything, nor has Lutfur Rahman, nor has the East London Mosque, nor has the alleged Islamic Forum Europe, whatever the name is, after they changed that name. So anything that the BBC will broadcast will still run way short of what we have been already broadcasting. Now, if the BBC does the discussion, we shall of course follow this. But we insist that we have been broadcasting unique, world exclusive original materials and legal commentary about Lutfur Rahman failing and Shamima Begum and her friend's plight. This is first part of the Khoodeelaar television channel of today's date, and we shall be updating in later parts, especially about Newham, about Tower Hamlets Council, about other councils, and the latest comments on Harry Windsor and his book Spare. So this is now 16 minutes long, and we close it here at this stage.